Hey guys, you're watching Life with Nick, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my experience with Louis Vuitton. More like Louis got it wrong. So what happened was I decided to kind of treat myself and I thought, hey, I'm going to buy myself a Louis Vuitton bag. I wanted to get the Michael Backpack. I often wear a backpack, so I thought I'll get a backpack, get a nice backpack. I was looking at the Louis Vuitton backpacks because, I like the brand Louis Vuitton. And I thought it's time to get a nice Louis Vuitton backpack. So I went on the website, had a look around, found the Michael suited my needs based on the size and the functionality and obviously the appearance. And I thought, okay, I'll get myself a nice Louis Vuitton Michael backpack. And there was a new one that came out with a nice hardware. And I thought, okay, nice little differences. I really, really like them. And it really kind of stood out. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to treat myself. I've been working hard. And I ended up buying it. So I went online, ordered it. It said available online. So when you go on the website, it kind of gives you some information. It's the Michael backpack, the N40310, and it was going for 3,750 Australian dollars. And I thought, hey, it's a nice looking bag. It's got the front zip, side front, and then the main one in the back. I really liked the hardware because it was like a full zip, and I thought, I got big hands. I like to grab that zip, like a full zip, don't want any holes in it. And it really appealed to me. And then looking at the, the quality, looked pretty good. I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get it. And I really like the hardware. The silver hardware really kind of stood out. I do like the silver look. So as you can see here, it's quite nice, and the hardware kind of stood out for me in addition to everything else. And I thought, you know what? It's time to get it. And even like the hardware on the back looks really nice. Now, the reason why I'm making a point of this is because what happened is I ended up purchasing this. So I had a look and it's like, it's available. I thought, perfect, I'm going to get it pretty quick. I was looking at, getting something soon. And this was around like just before Christmas. And I thought, yep, this would be perfect. So it said additional time up to 14 days may be required. I was like, you know what, that's fine because it is available. So I'm probably going to get it sooner than that because, if it's out of stock, fair enough, then, you probably have to wait. So I ended up purchasing it online. And what happens is when you go online, I'm not going to log in, but it tells you kind of the tracking information or where the order's at. And, I was waiting and, nothing was changing on the Louis Vuitton website. So I thought, you know what, I'll give them a call and just see what's going on because it's saying that the order hasn't been sent. So I call Louis Vuitton and I go, hey, just wanting to see where my order's at. And the girl's like, oh, can you tell me a little bit about what you ordered? I said, this is what I ordered, and she just hung up on me. And I was like, okay, I understand it's probably accidental, but come on, Louis Vuitton. Who drops calls? Like, I was not impressed by that. Look, people make mistakes, but I was annoyed by that. But I thought, I'll call back again because, it takes a while to get in. And then this other woman picks up with a French accent, and she, I'm starting to explain to her, what's been happening. I go, look, I've ordered it. I just wanted to see where things are at because on your website, it's not even saying that the order's been processed, even though, everything went through. And her response was, oh, yes, I can see you've ordered a beautiful, backpack. I'm thinking, what's that got to do with the issue? Like, all I want to know is, has it been processed or not? She goes, oh, let me check on the system. And she goes, yes, it's coming from our Singapore warehouse. It should arrive. And I said, a lot of times past, and it said on your website available. And she goes, yes, but it can take an additional 14 days. I said, fine, if it has to take an additional 14 days, it is what it is. I guess, they've ordered it from Singapore. So I was like, hopefully it's on its way. She goes, if you don't hear anything back in 14 days,
just wait longer.
Give us a call. I'm thinking, I wish it would come up on your website because the whole point of you having that on your website is so I could check the status. But I was like, okay, look, I'll accept that. I'll wait. Fair enough. And that was that. At this point, more time passed and I was getting annoyed. I'm thinking, I'm waiting like quite a long period of time to get a bag that was supposed to be here. So I called them back again and, they were kind of busy and that. And they said, oh, it should arrive soon when I finally got through. I thought, I'll wait. I waited another week. And then the item came through. And I thought, finally, my first Louis Vuitton backpack. And I get the bag, and to my horror, after waiting that long, multiple calls, they sent me the wrong bag. How do you mess that up? And look, okay, people make mistakes, fair enough. But I waited so long, you ordered it from your Singapore warehouse, that's all great. And this is direct from Louis Vuitton, so it's like, I don't know, I guess I just assumed a premium brand with, all their status would kind of not mess anything up, but I was really disappointed. I was a little bit annoyed because I waited that long and they sent me the wrong bag. So I call up and, I compose myself. I'm a pretty calm, chilled guy. And I say, look, I ended up waiting for this bag. You guys sent me the wrong bag. Is it possible to send me the right bag? Mistakes happen, fair enough. And they said, oh, let me check on our system. I told them the number. I said, it's the Michael Backpack, the N40310. And her response was, that's the bag you ordered. And I said, well, no, it's not. I have a receipt here that shows that it's not the bag I ordered. And she said, well, we've got it on the website. So she said, I spoke to my supervisor and there's nothing we can do because that's the bag you ordered. And the styling codes are the same.
Elephant lion is same. Yeah, you see, Mr. Lee, in Australia, same, everything's same.
So then I said, well, actually tell your manager they're wrong, because if you go on your website, on the website, it says it's available. This is the one I ordered that matches my order details. It's the Michael Backpack. And she was saying it's the same. And I said, well, if it's the same, how come you've got an older model, which is called the Michael? But if you look at the two, so this is the Michael Backpack, and this is a backpack called the Michael as well. The only difference here that I can see, which is the zips. And remember how earlier on I was talking about the zips? They're not the same zips. The hardware is different. It's got a big hole in it. I don't like the look. I don't like the feel. And that's not what I ordered. So then I explained to her that the hardware is different and it's it's a completely different item on the website. You've got the Michael that you sent me, which was the wrong one, the N58023. So it's different. The number's different. Versus the one I ordered, which is the N40310. And if anyone's into designer stuff, most people want the latest stuff. This is the old model here with the holes in the zippers. This is the newest model. Now, I wanted it not just because it's the newest model, but because I liked the way the hardware looked. And I figured if I'm paying $3,750 for a bag and I specifically want the one I ordered, I kind of expect to get the one I ordered, not the one that I suspect is now less popular because it's the old model. And I wanted to also do a review on this new bag. So I was very disappointed. And when I told her that, she said, well, we don't even know if we have any in stock or when we're going to be getting them. And I said to her, well, on your website, and even now, which is kind of sad, it says the Michael Backpack, the one I ordered, is available. So it's like, if it's available and you're saying it's not, why don't you update the website? Like, that to me is deceptive. It's like, just change it to unavailable. Yet the bag that's unavailable, the one they sent me, and I suspect they're sending out all this old stock to get rid of it, is considered unavailable. But when you buy the one you want, which in this case was this bag, the 40310, and is available, they sent me anyway, the old version, all the way from Singapore. Like, I'm thinking, if you're getting it direct from wherever you store it all, at least like ship the right one. So when I explained that to her, I asked to speak to the supervisor so I could explain to them what their website's saying and that it's not a misinterpretation. And, I explained to them that on my receipt, this is the code on it. So they're not the same bags. These two are not the same bags. They're listed separately. Yes, they're the same price. Yes, they look similar, but the hardware is different and there are some subtle differences there. So the supervisor didn't want to talk to me. And keep in mind, like I was pretty down to earth. So yeah, they just didn't want to talk to me. And they said, well, in that case, what do you want us to do? And I was pretty annoyed. So they couldn't tell me when they're getting it in stock or if they have it in stock. It's like, you're Louis Vuitton. If you can't tell me when you're getting it in stock, how am I going to know? So I said, you know what? at this point, this whole situation has been a terrible experience. I just want my money back, because you can't tell me when you can actually replace the bag with the new bag. And they said, fine, we'll send it back and we'll give you your money back. And I thought, this is so disappointing. I said, okay, how do I send it back? They said, oh, in the paperwork that came with the bag, you've got a return slip. So I don't know, maybe a lot of people return things, maybe people get disappointed, I don't know. So I said, not a problem. Next day I sent it away and I thought, I'm getting a bad vibe about Louis Vuitton. They just seem a bit dodgy. And I started reading some reviews and people had some really, really bad experiences with the quality, with the returns, with how long it takes for Louis Vuitton to resolve an issue, with bad customer service. I even saw a video where someone felt Louis Vuitton was being very offensive. I think one of the videos was saying they had a negative experience where they felt like they were being racist. Then I said, look, customer service, it's a mixed bag. But I guess the point is that I was getting really, really worried that this image I had of Louis Vuitton was all BS, and it was almost a cash cow approach where it's like, let's just maximize our profits and who cares about the customer. And maybe I'm not their direct demographic, a bald guy with a goatee. Who knows? But hey, you don't have to be a jerk about it, right? So I sent it back and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get the courier to just sign a typed up letter that I had to say that they've received it, because there's no way of even proving I've sent it back. So I took some photos of the bag that they sent me just to show that it's been sent back. I put it back in its original packaging, and I got the courier to sign it. They're like, sure, I'll sign it, whatever. Like, I'll pick it up, I'll sign it, off it goes. So I send it back and I'm waiting for my refund, waiting. All this time passes. And I call Louis Vuitton and I go, hey, Louis, what's happening with my money? And they're like, oh yeah, it can take, I think they said 20 or 25 working days to process a refund for an item I sent right back. And I said, well, that kind of sucks. Like most other places will refund it as soon as they get the item. It just seems a little bit on the, on the dodgy side. So I said, well, can you at least give me some confirmation that you've received the bag? And the girl I was speaking to from Louis Vuitton said, yep, we have received the bag. I said, okay, well, can you send me an email just to say, for peace of mind, that you've received the bag? So then I don't have to worry and, no one can say it got lost or we didn't get it. And she said, oh, we can't do that. And I was like, you can't tell me you received the bag. So what am I supposed to do? Like record this phone conversation as evidence? She said, well, what I can do to put you at ease, we can record it on our system that we've received the bag. I'm thinking, how's that help me? How do I go, Louis Vuitton said they've received it, they've logged it on their system. So if anything goes wrong, hopefully they will just supply that information freely and protect my rights. Yeah, I'm really going to believe you, Louis, after all the stuff you did to mess up my order. And the worst part is they didn't even, accept responsibility for what happened. So I thought, I'm waiting, and I'm going online, I'm reading all these bad reviews. And the interesting thing about, Louis Vuitton is, like, a lot of places you can go on Google, and when you go on Google, you can kind of leave reviews, whether you had a positive review or a negative review. And I'm like, isn't it interesting? And look, maybe this is my ignorance, but you can't leave a positive, negative, or neutral review or feedback on Louis Vuitton. How do they get this special status where they don't actually have to, get any feedback, but they can be listed on Google and all that? I just thought that was a little bit suspicious, a little bit suspect, I'm like, so I had to go and read the reviews on other third-party websites. And I just thought, a big company like Louis Vuitton not allowing people to leave reviews makes me think that maybe there are a handful of people that are unhappy with Louis Vuitton's product or service. Maybe there are more people unhappy than they would like to publicly show. So you can't leave feedback on the Louis Vuitton website, which, yeah, kind of sucks. So during this whole experience, I really didn't get any feedback. No one called me to say, hey, we're sorry to hear about your negative experience. How can we make it right? No updates, nothing like that. And that kind of really soured the experience for me. So what I had to do was, luckily I paid with PayPal. And I would have paid by card, but somehow, I like paying with PayPal because what happens is, and if something goes wrong, you got some backup. And I didn't think I'd have any negative experience with Louis Vuitton, but obviously I was wrong about that. And hopefully you guys don't have the same experience as me. But what I did was I had to open up a PayPal claim, because even though they told me on the phone they received the bag, they weren't giving me my money back. And I thought, hey, I want some interest. So I opened up a PayPal claim. I put in all the information similar to what I've kind of mentioned today for PayPal to review. And in the end, PayPal had to step in, and obviously I won the case. They voted in my favor, and PayPal refunded the $3,750 for the bag. And lucky for me, I got the courier to sign the document, because PayPal goes, well, do you have any evidence that you've even sent it back, other than, hey, I told Louis Vuitton, and they said, hey, we've logged it on our system. So I ended up, scanning the paper. Luckily I did this, and I gave it to them to show proof that it was sent off. But yeah, that was like really, really disappointing. And I had to wait, because then PayPal goes, oh, we can process, we can kind of investigate, but it's going to take us, some time to do it. I think 30 days. So I'm like, really, this just keeps getting worse. But I was like, at this point, I don't trust you, Louis. You lied to me way too many times. And look, people make mistakes. I can respect that. They didn't want to take ownership or say, hey, we did make a mistake. They tried to convince me. It's the same bag. It's not the same bag, Louis. Know your product. Know your product. I'm not even a big Louis Vuitton shopper. This was my first bag purchase, and I knew the difference. So come on, Louis, train your staff better. Like, okay, mistakes are made. They should have said, hey, we made a mistake. How can we make it right? I'm a reasonable guy. I could have made it work. But no, in the end, I'm never shopping at Louis Vuitton. That's it. I'm never shopping at Louis Vuitton, because first of all, reading all the negative reviews after I had a bad experience made me think maybe their quality is not that great. And look, I wasn't naive to think Louis Vuitton quality is the best in the world, but I thought, hey, surely it's going to be at least satisfactory or above average. But reading the stuff made me think, and I don't need a Louis Vuitton bag. At the end of the day, I wanted it. I thought, I don't have one. Would be nice to have it. Yes, my opinion, I know it's a ripoff, but I didn't care. I was like, I just want a bag. It's kind of fun. It's kind of nice, but it all didn't go down so well. Look, my advice is, if you are interested in buying Louis Vuitton products, and a lot of people are, I was one of them, I would recommend you go through PayPal, because if you have a bad experience, and I didn't think I'd have a bad experience either, you can at least then go through PayPal and try and get PayPal to resolve it and give you your money back if there is an issue. I personally wouldn't recommend doing it any other way, and I'm not sponsored by PayPal or anything, but if PayPal didn't step in, there's no guarantee I would have got my money back. And there's no confirmation that Louis Vuitton wanted to give me that they actually received the bag, other than a phone conversation. And you can't record people's phone calls. It's inadmissible in court unless it's a criminal case. And getting ripped off on a designer bag, I don't know. I don't think that's a criminal case, at least not here in Australia. My advice, if you do want to buy something from Louis Vuitton, is make sure that you go through PayPal. So if there is an issue and Louis Vuitton's not willing to resolve the issue or even accept that they've made a mistake, you can at least have that added layer of comfort knowing that PayPal can look into it all and sort it out for you. And that way you can get your money back. And also, if you are sending something back, I would highly, highly recommend that you get a signature from the courier that says, yes, I've picked up this item that's going back to Louis Vuitton on this day. And that way, if something does go wrong, at least you have something from the courier to say it's been sent back. Because in my experience, I had no real evidence other than my own personal experience, which, how's that going to protect me if someone lies or if something goes wrong? So that's what I would kind of recommend. Hopefully my negative experience will maybe lead to a more positive experience. Unfortunately for me, I really feel like the whole thing was really, really crappy, and I'm never giving Louis any of my money ever again. There's heaps of other designer brands that I can go to, and I will be exploring them. I'm considering maybe getting a backpack from Gucci. Haven't yet seen something that I like, but I'm going to be doing some searching. There's some other brands as well. Look, Louis Vuitton, the issue I have with you outside of this whole experience is, look, it's normal for people to make a mistake. Absolutely fine. But if you can't take responsibility or even admit you've made a mistake, I think that's a bad look, and I have a real issue with that. So it's disappointing, but hey, you've lost the customer, and hopefully it can be a positive learning experience for you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a good day, and I'll be doing some more videos, reviews in the very near future, like in the coming weeks. So until then, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.